August 15, 1977. It was a quiet evening, like any other, at Ohio State University. Inside a small control room, Dr. Jerry R. Amen, a seasoned astronomer, was reviewing data from the Big Ear radio telescope, a massive machine designed to listen for signals from the depths of space. And then, something caught his eye. On a long strip of computer printout, buried among lines of mundane characters, a peculiar sequence suddenly appeared. 6EQUJ5. It was a powerful signal, lasting 72 seconds, coming from a specific point in the sky, and then gone. No interference, no repetition, no explanation. No one had ever seen anything like it. Stunned, Jerry circled the code in red ink, and beside it he scribbled a single word, a word that would go on to define one of the greatest mysteries in the history of astronomy. Wow. Nearly 50 years later, we still don't know who or what sent that signal. Was it a friendly hello from an alien civilization, or just a cosmic coincidence? The story begins with that one incredible moment, the wow signal.
Ever since Galileo first turned a telescope toward the heavens in 1609, humanity has been captivated by the vastness of the cosmos. And with that wonder came a haunting question: are we alone in the universe? By the 20th century, science had developed tools powerful enough to begin seeking an answer. One of the main methods? Listening for radio signals. Because if an intelligent civilization existed out there, they might be using radio waves to communicate, just as we do with radio and television. Enter SETI, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. In the 1960s and 70s, the SETI project was born. Telescopes across the world were tasked with scanning the skies, searching for any signal that stood out, something unusual, something unnatural. Big Ear, humanity's cosmic microphone. One of the most unique instruments in this mission was the Big Ear radio telescope, located at Ohio State University. Unlike optical telescopes that capture light, Big Ear was built to receive radio waves, signals that can travel enormous distances through space with minimal distortion. Big Ear worked passively, patiently sweeping the sky as Earth rotated. Every time a narrow slice of the cosmos passed over its ear, it would record any incoming radio waves, even the faintest whisper from the stars. And then, at exactly 10:16 p.m. on August 15, 1977, Big Ear heard something. Introducing Dr. Jerry R. Amen. Dr. Jerry R. Amen, a veteran astronomer and data analyst working with SETI, was the one who discovered what would become the most famous signal ever detected. Several days after the signal was recorded, Jerry sat down to sift through reams of printed data, much like a detective combing through secret files. And then he saw it. A spike, a massive burst of energy, coming from a very specific point in the sky, possibly from a distant star or galaxy. It was unlike anything he had ever seen before, and it didn't resemble any man-made signal. With all his years of experience, Jerry couldn't explain it, so he did what any human might do in that moment. He circled the strange data sequence, and next to it, he scribbled a single word by hand: wow. And that's how it became known as the wow signal. 11. What does 6EQUJ5 actually mean? To the average person, 6EQUJ5 might look like a meaningless string of characters. But to astronomers, especially those familiar with radio signal encoding, it tells a very compelling story. To understand it, we need to know how data from the Big Ear telescope was recorded. Each line of printout from Big Ear represented the radio signal strength from a fixed point in the sky, over 72 seconds, split into 6 12-second intervals.
Instead of using regular numbers, the signal strengths were encoded using a character scale. From 1 to 9 for low to moderate intensity. From A to Z for strong to extremely strong signals. In the sequence 6EQUJ5, 6, the signal starts to rise, mild strength. E, Q, U, J. Signal intensifies, peaking at U, an exceptionally strong burst, around 30 times stronger than the cosmic background. 5. The signal fades and disappears. This progression, rise, peak, then fall, matches the pattern of a natural radio wave passing through the telescope's field of view. It suggests the signal wasn't random noise. It was consistent and structured. Why exactly 72 seconds? Big Ear wasn't fixed on one spot. Instead, it allowed Earth's rotation to move the sky across its sensors. As a result, any radio source would remain in its detection path for exactly 72 seconds. And that's precisely how long the WOW signal lasted. It rose, peaked, and vanished within 72 seconds. This led experts to believe the signal came from a fixed source in space, not an airplane, not a satellite, and not local interference. If it had been a satellite or aircraft, the signal would have been distorted, repeated, or lacked a clear pattern. What makes the WOW signal even more mysterious? It was never detected again. Despite repeated scans of the same region, by Big Ear and many other observatories, the signal was never repeated. It didn't match any known satellite. All satellites have unique radio fingerprints and orbital paths. Yet no satellite at that time matched the WOW signal's characteristics. The source was never identified. The coordinates point near the Sagittarius constellation, a region dense with galaxies. But there's no known planet, star, or object nearby that could emit such a strong signal. So, what could it have been? Scientists have proposed two broad categories of theories: rational hypotheses, a reflected Earth-based radio signal bouncing off the atmosphere, but that doesn't explain the strength and clarity. A classified military transmission, a cosmic phenomenon, like a fast radio burst, FRB. Extraordinary hypotheses. A message from an extraterrestrial civilization. A deliberate hello. A signal meant to say, we are here. A failed or one-time interstellar experiment. Why it still haunts us today. The WOW signal wasn't just powerful, it was perfectly timed, perfectly shaped, as if it had been intentionally crafted. And yet, it happened once, and then it was gone forever, leaving behind a question that still echoes across decades. Could that have been the first moment we truly heard a voice from beyond the stars? Was the WOW signal just earthly interference? One of the most common explanations is this. The WOW signal was probably just Earth-based radio interference. But there's a major problem with that theory. The signal came in at 1420 megahertz, a very special frequency known as the hydrogen line, which is naturally emitted by neutral hydrogen, the most abundant element in the universe. And here's the catch. By international regulation, this frequency is forbidden from being used for commercial or military purposes on Earth, to protect astronomical research from interference. So if it was interference, it would have had to come from an illegal and extremely unusual source. Even more suspicious, the signal was clean, strong, and steady, the kind of signal scientists would hope to receive from an intelligent source, not the erratic noise typical of local interference. Conclusion: Earth-based interference is highly unlikely. A passing satellite or military aircraft? Some experts suggested the signal might have come from a passing satellite or a secret military transmission. But that theory also falls apart under scrutiny. There were no registered satellites in that part of the sky at the time the signal was received. Satellites move in predictable orbits. If one had caused the wow signal, it should have reappeared, but it never did. And aircraft? Their signals usually show fluctuations and noise, not the smooth, perfect curve seen in the wow signal. Conclusion: satellite or aircraft explanations are unconvincing. A comet. In 2017, astronomer Antonio Paris, Florida's Center for Planetary Science, proposed a new idea, that the wow signal may have come from one of two passing comets, 266P/Christensen or P/2008 Y2 Gibbs. His reasoning: both comets were in the vicinity of the signal's origin in August 1977, and the hydrogen clouds surrounding a comet could emit radio signals at 1420 megahertz. But the scientific community widely rejected this theory. Comet signals are extremely weak, nowhere near the strength of the wow signal. Comet gas clouds are diffuse and lack focus. They wouldn't produce a signal that clean or strong. Follow-up observations of these and other comets showed no similar signals. Conclusion: the comet theory has been largely dismissed. An unknown cosmic phenomenon? Another possibility is that wow was caused by some still unknown cosmic event, such as fast radio bursts, FRBs, intense, milliseconds-long radio pulses from distant galaxies, gamma-ray bursts, neutron star collisions, or black hole activity. But FRBs are extremely short, only a few milliseconds, whereas the wow signal lasted 72 continuous seconds. Also, the shape of the wow signal was too clean. It rose, peaked, and fell in a perfect arc, as if someone had carefully modulated it. Conclusion: no known natural phenomenon matches the signature of the wow signal. Pinpointing the source, and then losing it forever. After the wow signal was discovered, astronomers around the world pointed their telescopes toward the same region of the sky, near the Sagittarius constellation, for years. But the signal was never detected again. This added to the mystery. If the signal had come from a planet orbiting a star, it should have reappeared periodically. But in over 47 years, absolute silence. It remains one of the most solitary signals in the history of science. No scientific theory has fully explained it. Despite decades of investigation, the wow signal doesn't match any known source, natural or artificial. Mainstream science can only speculate. No theory has ever provided definitive proof. And it's this unrepeatable, unexplained, lone transmission that has led many to wonder. Could this have been the first time we received a wave from an intelligent civilization beyond Earth? When all conventional explanations fail. In science, the default assumption is that every phenomenon has a natural explanation. But in the case of the wow signal, after more than 4 decades, no comet, no satellite, no known cosmic event has ever matched its signature. And so, some scientists, especially within the SETI community, search for extraterrestrial intelligence, began to seriously entertain a possibility they once avoided. Could the wow signal have been sent by an alien civilization? Too many coincidences to ignore. 1420 megahertz, the frequency of hydrogen. This frequency is emitted by neutral hydrogen, the most common element in the universe. Because of its universality, many SETI researchers have suggested that if an intelligent species wanted to send a signal, they would likely use the hydrogen line, something every advanced civilization would recognize. And the wow signal? It came in exactly at 1420 megahertz. a perfect waveform. The signal rose gradually, peaked, then declined smoothly, lasting exactly 72 seconds, just as an intentional signal would, passing once through the telescope's sweep. To many, it looked like a beacon, a one-time broadcast, precisely timed as Earth passed through its narrow beam. Its source, near the Sagittarius constellation, a region rich with stars, exoplanets, and galactic activity. Near the center of the Milky Way, all of it feels too precise to be a coincidence. Scientists begin taking the alien theory seriously. Seth Shostak, SETI Institute. The WOW signal remains the most credible candidate we've ever seen for a possible extraterrestrial transmission. Paul Horowitz, Harvard astrophysicist. We can't prove it was aliens, but if I were an alien, this is how I'd send a signal. Dr. Jerry Eman, who discovered the signal. I'm not ready to draw conclusions, but I also can't rule it out. Even the most cautious scientists agree. If we ever were contacted, the message would look a lot like the WOW signal. If it was a message, why only once? This question haunts astronomers to this day. If it came from intelligent life, why didn't they send more? Why didn't they respond? There are a few theories. A random broadcast we happened to catch, like a distant radio station transmitting continuously, and Earth just passed through the signal once. A signal on an extremely long cycle. Maybe it only repeats every 10, 50, or 100 years, and we haven't been listening at the right moment. Conspiracy? Did someone know more than they said? Some independent researchers and authors believe the WOW signal wasn't just data. It may have been a warning deliberately hidden. There are rumors and speculative claims that NASA or the US government conducted deeper studies and never released the results, that a response signal may have been received and silenced, that strange activity occurred around the Big Ear telescope site shortly after the signal was detected. There's no hard evidence, but the lack of transparency and the fact that Big Ear was quietly dismantled in 1998 fuels speculation. Was WOW the only signal we'll ever get? Some cosmologists and thinkers propose a sobering thought. Even if alien life exists, the vast distances and limitations of physics may make communication nearly impossible. In that case, the WOW signal might have been a solitary touch, like a voice echoing in a vast forest. A simple message. We existed. We're watching. This is as far as we could reach. In the end, the WOW signal, true to its name, might have been the final hello before the universe fell silent once again. It's no longer a question of if, but when. Before 1977, the search for extraterrestrial life was mostly theoretical, more romantic speculation than hard science. But after the WOW signal, everything changed. For the first time in history, we recorded a deep space radio signal that looked intelligent, and for which no natural explanation has ever sufficed. No one could say for sure it came from aliens, but no one could confidently say it didn't. From that point on, the question shifted from if aliens exist to where are they? How are they watching us? And should we be the ones to say hello first? The WOW signal in pop culture. After the discovery, alien contact exploded into public consciousness, across movies, books, and media. Some iconic examples. Contact, 1997, based on Carl Sagan's novel, features a scientist who detects a radio signal from space, eerily similar to the WOW signal. The X-Files, Star Trek, and Ancient Aliens all reference the signal as a pivotal real-world mystery. On Reddit, science forums, and podcasts, WOW consistently ranks as one of the top 5 unexplained events in astronomy. In internet culture,
6EQUJ5 has become something of a cosmic symbol, even tattooed on skin, a mark of awareness and cosmic curiosity. Are we even listening the right way? The WOW signal sparked a deeper human question. If someone out there is trying to contact us, do we even have the capacity to hear them? Scientists began to realize our telescopes only scan a fraction of the sky at any given time. The signal may not be in radio waves at all. It could be quantum signals, particle-based, or something we haven't even conceived. Or maybe they already sent more signals, but we missed them, like a blind man in a concert hall, unaware the music is playing. The WOW signal became a wake-up call. To communicate, we must first upgrade our understanding of the language of the universe. The WOW signal reflects something deeper about us. In the end, this mystery isn't just about aliens, it's about us. It forces us to ask, if another civilization exists, how would we react? Would we welcome them or fear them? If they are more advanced, would we be humble enough to learn? A single 72-second burst did more than all our philosophy books to make us reflect. Who are we really in the vastness of space? The fall of Big Ear and the return of silence. In 1998, the Big Ear telescope, the very instrument that caught the WOW signal, was dismantled to make way for a golf course. What was once the ear of humanity is now just a patch of green. It's a quiet metaphor in the noise of modern life. Are we forgetting to listen to the cosmos? Since WOW, no signal has matched its clarity or mystery. The universe has gone silent again, or maybe we just haven't been listening the right way. But humanity hasn't stopped searching. Despite the silence, no one has given up. SETI has expanded its scope. New observatories like the Allen Telescope Array and China's FAST now scan billions of frequencies every day. Projects like Breakthrough Listen, backed by Stephen Hawking, now process data at 10,000 times the rate of earlier efforts. Even if WOW was a fluke, it ignited a fire, a permanent reason to keep listening. One day, we'll hear them again, or they'll hear us. And if it was truly a message, then it wasn't just a scientific anomaly. It was a historic moment, like the discovery of fire, like the first step on the moon, a first hello between two species, separated by light years and time. And we, the ones alive today, were the generation that witnessed it. The WOW signal may be the first whisper in a conversation that will change everything. The WOW signal was the brightest, but not the only one. While the WOW signal stands as the most famous, it's far from the only mysterious signal humanity has received. Over the past half-century, astronomers have detected multiple unexplained signals, intense bursts, bizarre patterns, and one-time anomalies that still defy explanation. Some may have been interference, but others, maybe not. Here are a few signals that made the scientific community pause and wonder. FRBs, fast radio bursts, lightning strikes from the cosmos, first detected 2007. FRBs are incredibly short, lasting just milliseconds, but they emit as much energy as the sun does over thousands of years. What makes them strange? They originate from billions of light years away. Some repeat periodically, like FRB 1211 ODU. Some have extremely complex structures. One repeating FRB even pulses like clockwork, leading some to speculate, could these be messages or signs of advanced extraterrestrial technology? FRB 1211 ODU, the ghost signal from a dwarf galaxy, first detected in 2012. Repeats dozens of times in tight clusters. Originates from a tiny galaxy 3 billion light-years away. Source still unknown,
Theories range from highly magnetized neutron stars to alien-controlled energy devices. Nothing definitive. SHGB02 plus 14A, a signal from nowhere. Detected in 2003 by the SETI at Home project. Frequency, particular prevents at 420 MHz, the same as the WOW signal. No known star or object in its direction. Never repeated. The signal lasted about 1 minute, was even and strong, but didn't seem to come from any identifiable source. Its location? Between the constellations Gemini and Taurus, a quiet, starless void, like a whisper from the darkness. Tabby's star, KIC 8462852. Light signals or megastructure. Unlike radio signals, this anomaly involves light. Since 2015, NASA's Kepler telescope observed dramatic dimming of this star, up to 22% brightness loss, with no repeating pattern. Dust? Comets? Not likely. The dips are too deep, too irregular. One theory gained huge attention: a Dyson sphere, an enormous alien structure built to harvest the star's energy. Though later challenged, Tabby's star remains one of the top candidates for possible artificial megastructures in space. Detected in 2016 by Russia's Ratan 600 telescope. Origin: near star HD 164595, 95 light-years from Earth. Lasted a few seconds. In the radio communication frequency band. Seemed to come from deep space, not Earth-based. Initially considered a possible alien message, it was later suspected to be interference. But to this day, there's no clear proof either way. SETI has never officially ruled it out. The unidentified blips, invisible whispers. SETI has recorded hundreds of curious signals over the years, strong, clean, yet never repeating. Some common features: single appearance, never heard again, not matching satellite or Earth-based interference. No correlation with known natural cosmic events. Like the WOW signal, these anomalies are called one-offs, strangers who knock once on the door of Earth, and then vanish into silence. So why does the WOW signal still stand alone? Among all strange signals, WOW remains the gold standard, because extremely strong, the most intense of them all, 1420 MHz, the universal frequency linked to hydrogen, the building block of the universe. Perfect waveform, clean, smooth, symmetrical, lasting exactly 72 seconds. Still unexplained after nearly 50 years, the first signal to spark serious debate in the scientific world about alien intelligence. If the WOW signal was a knock from the universe, then the rest are shadows slipping past the door. And the question still echoes: are they trying to contact us? Or are we just hearing the fading echoes of a lost civilization? Ramon. If they exist, then where are they? This haunting question was first asked by physicist Enrico Fermi over lunch in 1950, surrounded by fellow scientists at Los Alamos. He simply asked, if the universe holds billions of stars, many of them far older than our sun, and life could arise almost anywhere, then why haven't we seen anyone yet? That simple question became one of the deepest mysteries in science, the Fermi paradox, a paradox that still baffles humanity today. The universe is too vast. Life should be everywhere. Let's look at some numbers. over 200 billion stars in the Milky Way, about 40 billion Earth-like planets according to NASA. If just 0.1% of those hosted intelligent life, that's 40 million possible civilizations. The universe is old, huge, and full of the ingredients for life. So, why is it so quiet? Why hasn't anyone reached out? Why hasn't anyone visited? Why no alien spacecraft, no confirmed messages? Why, after the WOW signal in 1977, have we heard nothing else? Theories that try to explain the silence. We're just too early. Perhaps we're the first civilization in this corner of the galaxy. Others may not have evolved yet. Maybe interstellar communication requires technology far beyond our grasp, like ants trying to invent Wi-Fi. Everyone's listening. No one's transmitting. Every civilization is just listening. So no one hears anything, because no one speaks. Hiding on purpose. What if there's a cosmic danger out there? Civilizations may intentionally stay silent, hiding in the dark, like turning off lights in the forest to avoid predators. Maybe most civilizations destroy themselves before they ever make contact, through war, AI, environmental collapse. What if the WOW signal was a glitch in the silence? Imagine the universe as a pitch-black room. Each civilization is like a tiny candle. Most candles burn out before anyone sees them. But one day, just once, a single flash, a brief shimmer in the darkness. The WOW signal may be the only flicker we ever see, before the darkness closes in again.
Are we living in a lonely moment?
Some cosmic philosophers believe that every civilization goes through a lonely phase. A moment in their early development where they can look outward, but no one is there to answer. It's like being the first person to climb a mountain and shout, only to hear your own echo. Wow might have been that echo, or a reply we never heard again. Could silence itself be a clue? Some thinkers argue, the very silence of the cosmos might be evidence that something's wrong. If intelligent life were common, we should have seen something by now. But when everything stays quiet, perhaps someone or something is setting the rules. A law of physics we don't yet understand. A cosmic zoo where we're being watched but never contacted. A galactic gatekeeper controlling communication. So then, what was the WOW signal? There are three main possibilities. 1. A civilization accidentally turned on the light, and we just happened to catch it before they turned it off. 2. A deliberate message that ended there. A simple statement. We existed, but don't come looking. 3. A transmission not meant for us, like overhearing a conversation on someone else's radio station. Whatever it was, WOW remains the most important clue. We may never explain it, but we also can't forget it. The WOW signal forces us to confront the biggest questions about our place in the universe. Are we truly alone? Or are we simply not ready to understand the message? It has become a symbol of hope that we are not alone, and a haunting reminder that we might be just a brief flicker in a quiet, ancient universe. A normal day and an extraordinary signal. Imagine this. On an ordinary morning, astronomers at an observatory are going through routine data checks, and then a strange signal appears. Clean frequency, steady wave, clear encoding. It looks just like the WOW signal, but this time it repeats. Within 15 minutes, the information leaks online. In just 1 hour, the entire world erupts. Global shock. Humanity looks up from the ground. The news flashes across every headline. NASA confirms. Repeating signal from Sagittarius. Suspected extraterrestrial origin. Social media floods with theories, debates, and fear. In just 24 hours, stock markets fluctuate. Governments hold emergency meetings. Religious groups call for prayer. People rush to stockpile food and water, fearing the end. And a single question echoes across the planet. Who are they? What do they want? And what should we do? Science, military, and faith react. Scientists, excitement. At last, living proof. Teams assemble to decode the message. Telescopes around the world lock onto the signal source. Military, highest-level security alerts. Concern, could this be a trap? Surveillance satellites shift into global scan mode. Faith communities, interpretations align with ancient beliefs. Messengers from the heavens. Some see it as a divine test. Prayer gatherings erupt. Some await a second coming. Should we respond or stay silent? This becomes the greatest debate of the century. Two main schools of thought emerge. Respond immediately. Show we are friendly. Send maps of Earth, human DNA, music, language. Prove we are an intelligent, cultural civilization. Absolute silence. What if they're predators? Revealing our location could lead to extinction. Like a deer crying out in a dark forest.
See if they arrive.
What then? Peaceful contact. A spacecraft enters Earth's orbit, sends a greeting, perhaps even lands, exchanges knowledge, medicine, energy, culture. Humanity enters the interstellar era. Hostile intent. The signal was bait. They come for resources. Earth becomes a colony, or worse, a memory. Just like how colonizers once discovered the Americas. Silent observation. They approach but choose not to intervene. Set up invisible monitoring stations. To them, we are just animals in a cosmic zoo. What if they never come, but keep sending signals? Maybe they can't come, or simply don't want to. Instead, they might send blueprints of physics, math, or philosophy. Instructions to build faster-than-light travel, or just a simple message, we exist, live well. In this case, the signal becomes a letter from the cosmos, and decoding it becomes humanity's sacred mission. A second signal would reshape us all. No matter its content, a second signal would change everything. Borders would fade in meaning. We'd see ourselves as one species on one small planet. Racism, war, and greed might lose their hold. Civilizations on Earth might unite to learn and to survive. A message from afar might bring human hearts closer than ever before. And if that day hasn't come yet, we keep listening. The WOW signal in 1977 was the first knock. If a second knock ever comes, it won't just be a scientific event. It will be the universe's quiet whisper saying, "You are not alone. Keep listening."